All right, folks, here we are in Group C, and we've got MbL with 3 wins. MbL's over here at the blue. MbL's in need of more victories here. If he also loses to ACCM like other players have, he's going to be near the bottom of the group. So MbL fans hoping he can pick it up, and I'm sure he certainly will be able to. ACCM, one of few players undefeated, and man, has he been good this season, and he's been super hard to kill. So I'm excited to see what we see from him today. The theme with ACCM, it's not just preparation, but it's just literally like, it's just grit, dude. It's just like, it's fight. And by the way, guys, I forgot to run ads right before the game, like an idiot, even though we just talked about it. So I'm running them right now. Don't hate me, don't hate me, don't hate me. But Dark Age is like kind of better than the rest of the times. So I literally just said, I'm going to run them in between games to the best of my ability. And then I forgot. Okay. So chat, people with subs, say he's running ads now so you don't get them during the rest of the game. Okay. Say it. Please let them know. It might be getting like advertisements for, I don't know, women's underwear or something. Who knows? What were we talking about? Yeah, we were just talking about ACCM's grit in his fight. His fight's just been fantastic. He's so hard to kill. And MbL is going to try and steal his boar. He's going back to his roots, people. But ACCM is here. I mean, this is going to be a tough boar to steal. You have to somehow make it the whole way across the map. ACCM is right there, but MbL is going to sit there, and he's going to try. And I like the energy from MbL to try and get an edge early, try and make things awkward. And so far, he's done a really nice job. He can't move too far. If the boar goes out of vision, it will stop. And ACCM keeps trying to block it. And what? Hold on a second. Didn't the boar, like, run backwards for a second? What happened to that? Watch the boar for a second. It should be chasing the scout, right? Watch this. I mean, that's what I would do. If something attacked me, I would run away. But it almost looked like it ran away for a tile or two. I've never seen something like that. So, anyways, MbL doesn't get the boar steal. I think it was ambitious in the first place. He'll come home with his scout. And MbL says, damn it. All right, we got some chat from MbL. Let's go. So he says, damn it. I don't think... Oh, ACCM responds. ACCM says, okay. And we've got Byzantines for MbL. And MbL is now housed. Yikes. Okay, so it's been one of those starts for MbL. Forgot to build a house. Dark Age was a little too crazy because of the lame, I guess. And so that... Hopefully there's not a whole lot more of that coming from MbL. We've seen this matchup a lot. Other civs that can be good on this map is like Dravidians and Japanese and Huns. Those would be the other 3 that really come to mind for me. But while usually variety is like really important for me and I really want that, Cross is just such a crazy map with so many different aspects to it. I'm actually really okay with certain civilizations being repeated every now and then, you know? And I think that if you were to get too deep into the weeds with civilizations, then you have civilizations that can't perform on the map, and then the map seems worse because you don't have all those bonuses. You don't have the fire ships and the docks and the well, I guess in this case, the crazy eco from the Persians, and then the really good military from the Byzantines. So ACCM's map is pretty good here. He's got the woodlines along the front. Now, that could be a liability if there's range units. But his gold is behind all that, which is nice. So ACCM is no stranger to walls. So I think he'll probably be very happy with those woodlines to wall up. MbL has similar potential, just for his starting gold, though. So he'll wall in front of that. He's got some woodlines to work with. Berries are on the back. MbL's base almost looks like Arabia. MbL, if you just forget about the water for a second, it feels like an Arabia generation. You've got some hills across the map. Definitely feels like the woodlines are just bigger on this gen. ACCM Scout has scouted the dock. So he knows where MbL is. And it doesn't seem to be sending a sneak villager out or anything. And then MbL doesn't have that scouting intel. He doesn't know what side his opponent is docked. He knows roughly where the opponent is, but he went for the lame. And now is coming home to push some deer, so doesn't really have the information there. Someone says, what's the difference between Cross and Four Lakes? That should honestly be a drinking game for this channel, where anytime that question is asked, you should just take a drink. It's a good question, though. I mean, basically, Cross is the OG, and Cross has less fish than Four Lakes. So you need to transition off of the fish faster than you would need to in Four Lakes. So it is, you could say it's an enhanced difficulty. Now, I could also talk at length about how we balance the neutral golds to be 2 tiles and spread them out into different areas. I could also talk at length about the adjustments we've done to where there's no straggler trees on the shorelines to affect dock positions. I could also talk at length about relic positions. And I could also talk at length about the history of Cross in the first tournament I remember seeing it in. But we don't have time for that. So that'll be, I guess that'll be, you know, for a later date. So ACCM, about to drop a stable here. And MbL is kind of assuming that this is where his opponent is docking. Now, he knows his opponent's super close, so it would be the correct assumption. And so he's making a move to sneak a dock now. And MbL has also dropped an outpost, so this is what Byzantines can do. He's got full vision here, in case a sneak dock comes up himself, or on his own pond. And there's the Vil from MbL. ACCM's looking, or maybe he just wanted to fish more efficiently. I'm not sure. But he... Well, he's actually docking down here. And MbL doesn't know there's fish there. Remember, he never scouted it. So he needed the outpost, and now he'll see it. And now he'll probably drop a dock. But there's other things to do here. Like, he wants to go scouts and spears. He needs to find out if his opponent is going for scouts and spears. He'll see the barracks now. He'll probably find the stable, and there's the dock. And ACCM will see that dock. Now, importantly, neither player is actually on gold right now. So MbL is going to gold right now, but if ACCM wants to make multiple fires, he can't. MbL will make the first fire, and then MbL should be able to make the second. And ACCM still has just not noticed that, guys. He's just too busy. He's looking down here. Spear micro. Scouts checking things. He didn't notice that dock. And MbL's going for 2 docks. MbL's going to win this pond. That's a lot of fishing ships exposed for ACCM. But there also is like some walls coming up for ACCM, which is good for him. Yeah, I think he just noticed. He's headed to gold right now. So I might have got a little too excited. It doesn't necessarily mean the pond is won right away. But I kind of like MbL's position right now. MbL now moving forward with Spearmen and scouts, and he'll find the wall. The wall is wide open. The Vil will die. Oh, what a great start for MbL. He also has Spearmen at home. ACCM's panicked. Can't do too much there. ACCM now needs to quick wall. This is a real test of what ACCM is capable of now. Now, I wonder, is MbL able to manage all this to really snowball it? Because usually you want to attack the fire galley there. Once that fire galley is killed, you're going to kill the fish anyways. So diving for fish is not usually the play. But it's hard to manage everything. And ACCM loses another scout. MbL scout's still roaming around. MbL now out with more fires. And yeah, MbL can win this pond. So it's been a crazy start so far. ACCM, he fell behind in multiple games in the first 2 rounds, but he just kept coming. So I'm actually really excited. It feels rude, but I actually want to see ACCM fall behind because it's so fun to see him try and fight and come back. It'll also make the group a lot more interesting if ACCM loses a couple games. So he clearly doesn't want to give up on this pond. And goes for the quick walls here. The fires shouldn't be able to do any damage to the Vil because the dock's in the way. And MbL is just really focused on that Vil. You got to be careful here. I think wedging your ships in like this is kind of wild when your opponent could have a demo. ACCM does have a demo on the way. Why is MbL here? He really wants to kill that Vil. Like, is this just lack of experience here? Guys, you can't do damage to that Vil because the palisade and the dock block. Or actually, somehow he did a little bit of damage there. Maybe I'm wrong. I swear, though, if MbL sits here for too long, he's going to get demoed. He's going to lose his control here. I think he's just so busy with other things. He's walling up. He's thinking about land transitions. And there we go. He spreads the ships out. That was beginning to stress me out a little bit. Now, elsewhere, we've still had fish in the south. ACCM has 5 fishing ships in the south. And also has built some houses along the shoreline, is scouting the north. And is sneaking a Vil this direction. Clearly, MbL wants to just get through here. So that's a smart move to use your navy. But now there's more navy from ACCM, and ACCM's not giving up this pond yet. Demo's coming from MbL, though. ACCM, right when he thinks that he's going to win the water, MbL's like, nope. MbL hoping to expand his walls. He may be able to do that. There's spearmen there to protect. But this Vil is huge here. Because this has been a pretty long game so far. A lot has happened. MbL probably has already written this off in his mind and said, I have this pond. This pond is mine. Kind of curious, though. ACCM sees the outpost. He should know that MbL would see it. But do you still try it? See, like, MbL doesn't see that. She seems kind of scared. What a crazy game, guys. There's been so much happening. And this is why Cross is one of my favorite tournament maps. There's so many different things to look at. So many different things can happen. Does MbL have vision in the south? No. See, I think MbL's thinking is, as long as I have one pond safe with Byzantines, and I've killed some of his fish, I'm happy. That's enough to be satisfied, and then you'll focus on land. Archers are on the way from MbL. He's actually adding a galley here. I think he sees that Vil. Also, it might have been a mistake from ACCM to attack the dock. I don't think that was intentional. And MbL is putting fishing ships on the shoreline to delay the dock. The foundation will not go up. The scout from ACCM gets sniped. And the galley should be here in time to deny any docks now. The 2 strongest docks in the game. It's so hard to take their docks out. Persians and Byzantines. And yeah, ACCM's going to try and quick wall this. But even if he starts to build now, MbL's galley should be there to deny it. MbL. First thing he'll do is click War Galley. The only thing I could say about MbL's position, though, is the fact that he hasn't checked the south is pretty crazy to me. I think he just wants to shift his focus to TCs, and that is a pretty MbL thing to do. Other players are a bit more water-focused than him. He gets the War Galley upgrade. He'll probably win this pond. He's also got this army to break through that ACCM will have to deal with. And the villager for ACCM ended up going back to the shoreline, so that gets sniped. And now MbL is just going to wall it up. Makes sense. Again, ACCM. He's behind right now. He has not collected more resources than the Byzantines. He's lost his initial pawns against the Byzantines, and Byzantines are just so good as the game goes on. How is he going to pull himself out of this position? It's not going to be easy, but MbL saw a lot to be worried about there. MbL saw 2 stables with flags. It's kind of funny, though. MbL probably assumes that's like 8 knights. But it's actually only 2. And ACCM couldn't actually make much more. But just the threat was enough. MbL behind the wood line now. What I said earlier, if you wall to wood lines like this, this becomes a liability. It's not easy to get back here to engage against that. It just becomes more annoying than anything. Oh, God. 3 TCs from ACCM. Is there anyone watching who didn't see any of the other ACCM games right now? There's so many games to watch. We have 3 sets every day, so I know it's tough to go back and watch it. But, like, some of those games, man, you just got to go back and see. Especially the series against Kapach. The Kapach and Dogal, he had a game where he had, like, 7 TCs. He lost 140 Vils, but he still had the Vil lead. So now when I see him drop TCs, I'm just like, oh boy, we're in for a long one. And he is Persians. It's 3 town centers. And MbL can't really break him. MbL just disrupted a wood line. That's about it. And oh, classic ACCM. The army he does have will come try and counter. MbL just 2 town centers now, but making the 3rd. I feel like this stone is critical. Also, look at the stone here. Look at the stone here. All those stones in the middle of the map are so important. ACCM's just giving up on this, by the way. So MbL will have that. Also, MbL's fish trapping with the fishing ships here. So that's smart thinking from him. Army still looping around. ACCM needs some good engagements here before the Byzantines can make it up to Imp. Byzantines just have all the counters. Their win rate's been fantastic this tournament so far. But that honestly has been the same with Persians. Both civs have been played a lot. Maybe it ends up being about even. ACCM wisely positions his Mangonel behind the houses. MbL not able to do too much. And ACCM's Knights hoping to break through. MbL pretty defended, though. And I think MbL's got to be really happy with this. Now, what I would... Ideal world for the Byzantines and for MbL here is you go castle in, like, the middle hill, I think, and then up to Imperial Age, and you just push in Imp. You don't really need to push more in Castle Age, in my opinion. MbL will drop TC number 4 now. So maybe feeling like with a bigger boom even, it'd be even better for him. And MbL's now docked the south. These 2 fires killed 6 fishing ships. And I think ACCM will be really happy with the value he got from that. Like, this has been working for a long time. But MbL will obviously be happy that he disrupted that as well. Just don't really know what army to suggest for the Persians here. Tato went Savar and Skirmishers. And I mean, he was the one imp pushing Byzantines, which is crazy. I think that was more of a position thing and a timing thing than a unit thing. There's 40 army for MbL. There's 5 for ACCM. But his eco's cooking. And he's going Cav Archers now. MbL, he thought about this castle a long time ago. The TC on stone was with this in mind. That's a perfect castle. What a great game from MbL. MbL can be shaky sometimes. You never really know what you're going to get from him. And I saw some shakiness in his cross games against his previous opponents. This has been great. Now, he doesn't have his army protecting the hill. But he does have the army here. And... okay, I mean, ACCM kills a villager or 2. But that castle's going up. And I like, how are you supposed to stop this if you're ACCM? How? There's so much army, dude. And it's not like MbL isn't doing some of the small things as well. MbL's dropping TCs everywhere. He's getting relics. He's got good eco upgrades. I was even hoping to snag this relic here. Feels like ACCM has really lacked army control in the mid game here. I think we saw 2 knights and the rest was just booming. I guess we also saw siege. Neither player has husbandry right now, but camels are slightly faster than CA. So that should be a dead CA. ACCM just basically committed imp resources into making this Cav Archer switch. He was hoping to have the map control with the Cav Archers, but MbL's just got camels galore here. Look at this from MbL's perspective. Not easy for ACCM to surprise him. We'll start to stack outposts up on the right. Now on the left side, he'll outpost and take control this hill. This is looking amazing for MbL. If ACCM comes back in this game, I would be shocked. Like, this position is so strong. It is a great civ matchup. It is a great positional matchup. Resource-wise, eco-wise, everything that you would want for MbL is there. He'll have more relics. He'll have the middle hills. He's got the better tech tree. In MbL, I feel like his internet could disconnect for a minute here. Or 2 minutes, and he could come back and still be in the better position. This is crazy. How many subs will you give? You greedy... We're just having a chat. We're not making bets. But I'll give 50 gifted subs if MbL loses this. 50. Actually, let's make it 100. MbL will never lose this. MbL, move your vills off the stone. MbL, save your trap. Seriously. MbL, your stone. 100. I'll do it. 100. Fine, you got me. I'll do it. MbL playing the perfect game and then just suddenly loses all those vills on stone right when I say that. Classic. This is cute. Just cute little farms around the castle. That's pretty cool. Heavy camel now. And MbL will have heavy camel, trebs. And he sees a castle, so he's just going to force the issue here. And guys, don't get excited for the subs. MbL's winning this game. Those camels are going to shred. They're not even heavy yet. They're just light camels. They're diet camels. No sugar. But it's coming. The CA don't stand a chance. The castle doesn't stand a chance. MbL could build another castle if he wants to. And ACCM's eco is just going to be an absolute mess here. It wasn't the cleanest engagement from MbL just because of the castle fire. But that's the thing about Byzantines. And with this economy he's earned himself, it doesn't really matter. As long as your trebs can't be taken out. And the trebs cannot be taken out here. ACCM has had no answer. And MbL has played it perfect. And we'll drop a castle over here now on the left side. Do you guys hear that? Do you hear that noise? That's the sound of me not gifting 100 subs after this. That's what that sounds like. That is a castle going up on the gold for ACCM that he desperately needs. And the camel war in front of the castle is absolutely shredding here for MbL. Remember, the camels are cheaper for Byzantines. They're not stronger. And ACCM's hoping with his own trebs to take down MbL's trebs. MbL just needs to repair these. And ACCM, even ACCM taps out at 150 population. MbL takes the first win. Wow, that was clean, man. That was clean. I mean, I really liked the initial play from MbL to try and lame. Like, that's going back to his roots right there. Because this map's all about early initiative. Then he got the forward docks down. That eventually worked out very well. He was very quick to the TCs. He didn't allow ACCM to get any damage with the scouts. He also went forward in very MbL fashion with spearmen and with scouts. So he kind of... I think the forward spearman was really the issue there for ACCM. He couldn't get his walls down. He just didn't give the Persians the type of game they wanted. But how many times have we said it? I mean, the Persian economy is great, but you don't really know what to make. And honestly, MbL outboomed the Persians as well. And more of every resource collected there except for food. I think Cav Archer from ACCM was a little late. Almost think like you either need that army early Castle Age and you don't boom, or you just don't make the army at all and you wait till Imp. Then again, if you wait till Imp, then MbL gets that castle there and there's bigger questions later. I just really don't know what to say because MbL played a perfect game. All right, so did they switch colors on me? Guys, okay, at one point, I hated this so much, I put it in the rules that players must keep their color from game to game. Because as a caster, it's so freaking annoying. And then if I change it, then people are like, why is there a blue 1 and 2 next to their names at the bottom right? It's so annoying. So I put it in the rules, and then nobody read the rule, and everyone just kept doing it anyways, so we gave up on it. So all I'm doing, I get to rant about it for 10 seconds, get it out of my system, and then we move on. ACCM's in the red, playing as the Khmer. And then the blue, we've got MbL playing as the Bohemians. Now, Bohemians are a crazy late game save. If they can get to their gunpowder with their infantry and have a choke point to fight through, like the middle here, really tough to stop. Hufnitze, Halb, also even the Hussite wagons, like, it's just a perfect civ for this map. Now, Khmer usually aren't picked that frequently here. But I remember Dragonstar doing it. I remember Stone Please doing it. So Dragonstar's in platinum, Stone Please is in gold. And then we had Vinchester do it. And Vinchester was doing some practice games publicly with Dragonstar. And I know Vinchester and ACCM practice a lot together. So there's this Khmer trend that's beginning here. Now, these are covered as recs. So the games that we saw yesterday, they might not have been seen when this series was played. I don't know the exact day that this series was played. So this could be kind of a mystery to MbL as well. But I mean, if there was a Civ to counter Khmer, it would be Bohemians, right? Like Halb and Hufnita should be great against Hussar, Elephant, and Scorpions. But Khmer are dangerous because they can advance up through the ages very fast. They have the amazing eco. Very easy to get a big eco lead with the Khmer. And then you have lots of initiative too, because you can utilize the outside, you can harass, you can raid. If this was Arena, it would be a very different situation, but now someone is asking about why there's numbers next to their nicknames. Chat, I hate you. I hate you. But I don't hate... Hold on, are we still live? Did my stream just drop? Are we good? We're here? Okay, that was super weird. Sorry, my stream PC just, like, reformatted the streaming program out of nowhere, and I thought I dropped. People I don't hate, though, are Jurassic Pork. Thank you for the 7 months. Thank you, Leaf on the Goats. These are some names. Thank you for the 2 months. K-Beef. No, sorry, KB. Sorry, no beef. Christ. Naklu. Up 312. Thank you. It's James. Thank you. Alex. Thank you. And then Fenor. Thank you very much, guys. Again, just looked at my schedule. We'll be live pretty much every single freaking day. So it means a lot. And Wall's coming up on the outside for ACCM. All right, so I was thinking about this recently because I knew we were going to have more fortified clearing games. And I knew there would be this, like, 3 to 5 minute period where I didn't necessarily want to dive deep on strat. Because after a while, you just kind of run out of certain things to mention. So I'm a big music guy, all right? And I recently have been binging a group that I used to listen to back in the early 2000s a lot. It's a metal group. And I'm wondering how much of my chat is into them. Any guesses on what group this is? Chat, why are you saying Dave is muted? Yes, he's muted. Yes, he's not here. Guess the group, damn it. Nickelback? Nickelback's not metal, bro. Nickelback is not metal. Yeah, let's go, Catface. Yes, Bullet for My Valentine. I mean, some of the other groups that you guys mentioned are fantastic. Dude, Bullet for My Valentine has so many great albums, man. So freaking good. And you kind of forget until you go back and you listen through some of their songs. Woo, so good. I saw them live one time. They were very old. But it was still fantastic. This might surprise you guys that someone who watches a 25-year-old game daily would prefer music that has more development to it. But, like, songs that have intros or albums that have intros, like guitar solos, drum solos, songs that are like 6, 7, 8 minutes. Like, I'm into that stuff. And I know that's not usually the most common thing. That's kind of my speed, so. And I guess that's the same with my video games. My video games have depth. My video games have intrigue. None of this flashy stuff, you know? Our villagers might not path properly, and the arrows from our TCs might not hit the units, but man, is it sweet to play this game. T90, why do you hate Nickelback? This is a very unpopular thing to say on the internet because it became fun to hate Nickelback. But I actually like Nickelback. I actually think they have a ton of bangers themselves. Now, they're different than Bullet for My Valentine. But it became a meme to just make fun of Nickelback. But they actually have a lot of great music, in my opinion. I think they're unfairly hated. And I would like to start to reverse that trend because I think they've got some good music. Now, are they my favorite group ever? I'm not like, yeah, Nickelback defines the genre, bro. That's what I envision people who are obsessed with Nickelback sound like. It's not that, but I think they actually have some really good music. So ACCM's build wasn't perfect, but it doesn't really matter. You're still going to be faster to the Castle Age than the opponent, just with a couple more vills. You could argue having 25 or 26 vills for this is actually better than 23, because you have those extra 2 villagers working while you're on the way up. Someone says, back to the game. Is MbL doing a fast imp here with 28 pop up? Okay, so I don't think it's fast imp. I think it's just MbL walled so much and took his time that he's most likely just he likes to have a little bit of extra eco floating. If you know MbL's gameplay, MbL's typically a player who isn't as sharp with the timings. And I don't think fast imp is actually that great for the Bohemians, because you can get well, maybe it is, because you can research chemistry on the way up or something, but I think he's just gonna go with the flow. But it is 5 on gold. He does have a lot of wood. He certainly could have been up faster here. And holy houses, dude. He's got 70 pop space. Man, if only MbL did this a little bit more frequently. We'll see. I still don't see this being a fast imp. I think this is going to be... He's just going to use the extra gold as flexibility to buy and sell resources. And he's going to have a crazy good eco when he gets up. So sometimes if you're up fast, you go Monastery and second TC. And you can only afford that. But here MbL should be able to get everything. That would be my guess. So we'll see. Didn't snag Bowsaw yet, which he could still do, but maybe he forgot. He didn't make a gate on the outside to run out the sides. ACCM is up. And there's the second TC. And as I said, similarly, I think having the extra Vill or 2 actually helps ACCM. Because now he can afford to go for that as well. So far, it's similar to what Vinchester did against Tato. Just straight 3 TCs. I actually have memories of MbL playing Khmer on arena-style maps too. So maybe he will understand how to punish this. Maybe MbL will actually go Siege Monk in the middle. If he's expecting full boom, I think Siege Monk play in the middle would make sense. Could also explain how much he has on gold. But I'm not sure. Scout's there from ACCM. Obviously, he wants to know. And then MbL wants to know what's going on in there as well. T90, how many subs when MbL gets housed at 70 pop? Well, first off, it's 80 pop now. I made 2 more houses. Well, hold on a second. This looks like a fast imp to me. Chat called it. I don't think this is gonna... I mean, let's let him cook. I don't think the resources are really gonna be there for this. But he will go... Oh, wait. What if he goes, like... It could actually just be Castle Age hand cannons. Yeah, that makes way more sense. So you get chemistry, and then you go hand cannon mangonel. But he needs a barracks, he needs a range, but he's got the time for that. Yeah, so this is going to be hand cannons. Not fast imp. But again, I think he's like... This isn't something MbL's practiced. I think he's up against Khmer now. And he correctly recognizes that this can be dangerous. So he wants to punish it. He wants to kill it. So on paper, I think it's understandable that he would be scared of this. And especially after we saw what happened before. And there's the stable from ACCM. ACCM is expecting MbL to just get relics and boom. So he wants the scouts on the map to stop the relics from coming in. But MbL's not doing that. MbL's going to have a surprise, dude. And this is going to be really tough for ACCM to stop. Scouts won't help. Siege won't help either. This should be really strong. It's a shame for MbL his range wasn't up yet. Also kind of crazy that MbL still collected more resources despite the build difference. That'll obviously change. Bohemians are definitely very dangerous in the late game, but it's more dangerous on arena than this map. If you were to just try and boom here, ACCM is going to snipe your monks, ACCM is going to attack the sides, and make it really messy. So MbL wants to avoid that. Scouting this is key if you're ACCM. He still hasn't seen a monk. He's like, what's going on? And now he sees hand cannons. and he sees mangonels. Okay, so I'm trying to think of what to do because there's really no stopping this. I think you have to go to stone. Yeah, you send a bunch to stone. You definitely need to get loom. And you're just hoping to buy time until you can get a castle. But that stone position is rough. ACCM. Yeah, you can't get in there. You can't get close. Hand cannons will kill you so quickly. And now the Scout Edition has done nothing. You could try Knights. But guys, I've seen this work on Arabia before where someone's up 30 vils and they still die because this is an Imperial Age unit. Like, this is 17 attack and the siege is here to melt your buildings. This is crazy from MbL. I love this. I don't know if it's going to work, but this is actually epic. ACCM prepping towers. You better build that faster. You better also get guard tower. You better also get fletching, bodkin, and you better also have multiple towers. You need a lot here. MbL still 1 TC. That gate will melt. I do love the guard tower defense. I think it's his best option. But look at that, man. That's insane. You make 1 mangonel, it goes down to 3 units. I really don't know what you suggest, but what I can suggest to do other than what ACCM has tried so far. That tower will go down as well. Guard tower isn't in yet. Fletching isn't in. He didn't have a blacksmith. And so he needs to go for that. That tower's down. Oh, man, dude. MbL came to play today. Here, I thought this was going to be a long series. Nice kill there from ACCM. But this is MbL we're talking about. This is the best mangonel micro player in the game. And these TCs are in jeopardy, man. I would say maybe trying to attack the outside of MbL's base could work. But MbL built houses there, too. So it seems like MbL was thinking ahead, fortifying all of that. I compliment MbL, and he makes a mistake. Classic. Nice job from ACCM. Always way easier for the defender in this situation. He's also going to escape out here to this gold. Watch this. The opposite of what I say will happen. You ready? Well, I picked a bad moment for this joke. Never mind. Just pretend I didn't say that. Pretend I didn't say that. We'll save that. ACCM's going to kill the... Okay, well. I tried. It just seems fairly predictable that MbL is going to take good engagements anytime ACCM moves out. So ACCM has to somehow hide everything behind these TCs. But MbL needs more siege. He has 3 TCs, though. He does have 2 relics. Yeah, so this is... I really like this. This is basically MbL's way of taking map control. And it's playing into his Civ's bonuses. MbL loses another mangonel. ACCM holding on. 30 villager lead, by the way. Found the stone down here. It's a great job of utilizing the outside. And ACCM still maintaining the villager lead. But still also needs an answer to this. Otherwise, this could get worse. I don't like Rams at all here. I guess I don't like Rams for the town centers. I just think Rams are just going to be so awkward to utilize when there's enemy mangonels out there. Scorpions could get dangerous against the hand cannons. And they could get dangerous against the mangonels as well. They do outrange them, but they also get flattened pretty quickly. And all right. Oh, Scorpions. Oh, God. Oh, my God. 3 of them were just flattened like pancakes there, dude. That was horrible for ACCM. That's why you don't want to go Scorpions here. And now ACCM about to lose this TC. We've got the choo-choo from MbL's Rams. They'll probably die, but they do get damage in. And the castle doesn't actually range the siege that's pushing the TC, so a TC is still a big problem here. Also, still a 30 villager lead for ACCM. What a crazy game. This is one of the most unique games we've seen so far in Fortified Clearing. MbL just needs to keep it up. Now, he's microing a lot, so when you're behind by 30 vils, you're trying to stabilize your eco. It's kind of tough to push and boom 3 TCs. You're not seeing many farms back here. Because that means you have to take the time to go do that. And if you do that, ACCM could get a snipe. So, if anything, the market becomes your best friend here for MbL. Because you can just sell off wood and buy food. But that is normal. Like, that's not MbL misplaying. You can clearly see where his focus is. And now he's going to drop TC here and TC here. Oh my god, he's going to have TCs everywhere. What is the plan? It seems like big army for ACCM is the plan. He's also getting relics on the outside. And MbL snipes his Mangonel. Just instantly. Just instantly. Well, I think if this was any other player, they are just completely dead against this. But after watching ACCM this season, I somehow feel like he's got a plan. And if his plan involves ballista elephanting into the opponent's base, I'm going to lose my mind. I could be wrong, but I think he wants this elephant to come over here and ballista through the trees so he can raid MbL's eco. Maybe he's just going to use the ballistas as part of the fight. I guess that's the most natural thing. But, I mean, it's been a great hold from ACCM, but it's been crazy pressure from MbL. And MbL just keeps a very close eye on this because he knows ACCM will hop out. Oh, no! He rolled underneath the TC! And now the ballistas are here, but there's monks! Abort! 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 Oh, that's not good. I don't know if that's good for ACCM. Yikes. ACCM's ballistas. Maybe that's the answer here. You don't see this all the time. They are tanky, but they die against siege. Yeah. They still go down very quickly. Expensive as well. And MbL is just so smart, so patient. Drops a castle in the middle. He got the farms up to 40. He was at 17 before. That's crazy. And so now I think you take it to Imp. Now, you don't need to kill your opponent anymore. You just... Well, not for now anyways. So ACCM a little bit of time to breathe. The elephant's getting completely flattened. ACCM's micro is good. MbL's micro is just better. That was insane. That was absolute... That was insane, dude. That's crazy. Somebody clip that micro. How in the world did he get such good engagements? These, 9 units have 29 kills, by the way. That's not even counting the damage that the Mangonels did against buildings this game. So, that was beautiful. He'll mass more hand cannons. He could start to make bombard cannons directly when he's in Imp. And now ACCM is on the way to Imp as well. And what is ACCM's comp going to be? See, originally, I thought ACCM's plan was Scorpions. But now I actually think Ballista Elephants is better. Scorpions... The bombard cannons are going to be out so fast. Elite Ballistas... I think they're busted, but I mean, maybe they're not busted, right? Because it's like, well, they're really expensive. They should be strong. It's that whole thing. But if you can get there, it's very, very strong. Thing is, against Bohemians, though, they can still make Mangonels. They could still make monks. Like, there's so many things Bohemians can still do. Someone asking, why is ACCM building mills? Probably for auto farm. Yep, it's for auto farm. Yeah, because I do it with Khmer. Because it's easier for me to just build the farms perfectly by just spam clicking, as I don't need to use my brain. So the auto farm building, we have ACCM of all people doing the same. Good to know. But yeah, you don't need to have the... you don't need to have mills with Khmer. So it's just for the auto farm placement. But, don't worry, guys. People told me no pros are going to use auto farm when I was mentioning it at the start. It's MbL's used it. Everyone used it. It gives you such an advantage because you just don't need to use your brain, which is half the battle in this game. So, 25 hand cannons for MbL and counting. Treb's coming from 2 castles. Bombard cannons could be on the way. They're not yet. ACCM is getting double crossbow. I mean, he only has 10 ballistas. Can you make... Is there a triple crossbow upgrade? Or a quadruple crossbow? Because I think you're going to need it. If you only have 10 units, double's not enough. You need triple. give me some triple. Or some quadruple, man. That's a lot of army from MbL. And MbL's dropping a castle now. And so he makes it a triple. There is some random stuff happening on the sides. MbL quick-walled that Vil. There's also these Vils. I don't know. She's chasing him. That's a whole thing. But, okay, elite ballista elephants on the way. He'll have 14 of them. He does have armor. But, guys, this is just perfect pressure from MbL. Wow, I thought the narrative was ACCM wasn't going to freaking lose this season. Okay, they're not elite. They are not elite. They do have double crossbow. And now they're elite. And... Oh my god, they... Oh my god, they're insane. They are insane. Oh my god. Everything MbL has there is getting destroyed. But he still has the castle. And he still has the trebs. And so he's able to eliminate the castles from the equation. So ACCM just can't mass more of them. I think MbL could try Onager here. The mangonels are doing decent enough. Onager upgrade would make sense. Instead of bombard cannons, maybe. I mean, ACCM's pop is pretty high. But he just doesn't have the massive ballistas. I'm wondering, maybe he could raid MbL on the outside. Doesn't look like there's an avenue there. MbL should know that even if lots of hand cannons have to die, he needs to keep sending it here. The thing is, as well, getting Halb isn't necessarily great against these, because Halbs also die to them. Halbs kill them faster when they hit them, but still. MbL knows the fight doesn't have to be pretty. He just has to keep pushing. And ACCM doesn't want to go down 2 games. ACCM still does have that one trep, which is firing on MbL's castle. But MbL's repairing. He's got tons of stone for that. MbL really would need ballistics. The fact this castle only has 5 kills, ballistics and fletching and bodkin, all those upgrades would really help that castle. ACCM still queuing up those ballistas behind. Still has, you know, light cav as well. Still has 170 Vils. If MbL loses control in the middle, this could start to get really awkward. ACCM could start to think about the outside. There's stone and whatnot to be gained over there. But I think one treb is a problem. Like, you can't even make trebs, really, if you need to make the ballistas, too. It's so complicated. MbL just resorting to converting the elephants. That's so good. MbL is about to have more elephants than ACCM has. Hussars will go in for the monks. They'll kill off the monks. The treb's still alive for ACCM. Quick walls from MbL. Bombard cannons and petards are on the way. And I think if these bombard cannons can just snipe that treb, MbL can get win number 2 here. The bombard cannons are firing. Yeah, ACCM cannot repair that. You just can't. ACCM's... He's dead. His pop is high. It's ACCM. He won't want to call it. But MbL's getting Halb now. The petards are standing there menacingly. And there they go. I assume he misclicked them. Charge! Alright, I mean, that was pretty strong. TC will go down much faster now. Towers from MbL. He's even going to tower in the middle of ACCM's base. And ACCM just can't believe it. He tasted defeat the first game and he doesn't like the taste. So he's not giving up. He's still got Vils over here. MbL walled that. They'll send Hussars to go raid MbL's eco here. But he's losing so much ground at the moment. And eventually, he's going to lose his farms. He also, when you lose TCs in these situations, it's really hard to replenish Vils. All right. Now, see, if ACCM could have done this in some other way a little bit earlier, I think this would have helped him take the main engagements. Unfortunately, now he's maybe waited a little bit too long. This is a great raid, though. He's just killed, like, 40 vills. He's still super dead. But he is making stables over here, so if MbL doesn't notice some of that, who knows? MbL will see the final castle from ACCM. ACCM is bringing vills over here for stables as well. This... There's no way ACCM wins this, right? What? A gate opens, and the Hussars are through, and the Ballistas... I actually got to go back to show you this. At the same time, ACCM comes in with the Ballistas, and look at the fight there. That's crazy. He's desperate to keep that castle up right now. MbL's about to lose a whole bunch of eco, but that means he's about to gain a whole bunch of army. MbL will dive for the trebs. Loses everything. His own trebs are getting sniped. His bombard cannon's exposed. But the bombard cannon's still key there. Those hand cannons are pretty weak as well, by the way. But there's not enough ballistas to really melt them. Hussars are still in MbL's eco. Oh, man. And there's also a siege workshop from ACCM here. This guy just doesn't die, man. He just doesn't die. How's he not dead? How is he alive? This fight's unbelievable. His trebs need to be repaired. His castle needs to be repaired. He is repairing. He is still raiding. MbL cannot keep up with this. I can barely keep up with this. There's units everywhere. MbL has got guard tower. But MbL lost his bombard cannon here. So he doesn't have that. He's starting to lose his trebs. And if he gets raided over here as well, he's not going to have food eco soon. He's trying so desperately to take out these trebuchets. He only has one of his own trebuchets now. And the ballista elephants. Talk about bang for your buck. I mean, 3 or 4 ballistas can hold against a full group of hand cannons. Where are these vills going, ACCM? Go the wrong way. You're going the wrong way. Run. Also, did MbL build these farms or did he steal these farms? I think he might have stole them. Oh, and now the Hussars are through over here. Now, there are halbs here from MbL to put a stop to this, but it's frustrating. The side raids have definitely opened up the opportunities for ACCM to stay in this. But he won't get these relics, so MbL could have, like, all the relics. And he needs the middle. Dude, the middle is valuable. All of MbL's farming eco needs to be between these castles now. That's so smart. Just stay near a castle. Your home base isn't safe anymore. New TC for ACCM. These trebs are still here. I don't know, dude. I mean, it was a good fight. But MbL's just towering away. He has knights over here from Bohemians. Why not? He's got knights. He's got halbs. Yeah. It got scary there. But MbL's going to win this game. ACCM down to 120 pop. What a crazy push. This was so much better than a fast imp. Or some of the things that maybe we had thought. So much better than just a straight boom and trying to hold on against Khmer. Because ACCM would have just raided him from the sides and made life so awkward. This was a sick play from MbL. And the micro, and then, like, catching up economically. Just everything was so awesome. So awesome. There he goes with the relics. Ballistas didn't have the time to get masked because of how fast the pressure was, too, right? Like, ACCM didn't have the type of game he would have wanted. MbL dropping even more towers here. Did you guys know that Bohemians got keep? I didn't until now. This might be the first time I've never seen someone build this many towers with Bohemians in a 1v1. I don't even know if I've ever seen guard tower from Bohemians. MbL might need to get Bod Canero and Bracer eventually. But hey, keep sends a message. And ACCM just says I can still win this game. ACCM, bro. Guys, when we say he refuses to die, this is also what we mean. This is hilarious. You're getting, like, what's your win condition, my friend? classic ACCM. He's like, we got this. Let's go. We got battering rams. He doesn't have Bodkin on his keeps. Let's get him. Let's see if he has murder hulls. Go, 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 go. And he calls the GG. Perfect population for ACCM to resign at. Good old 105. And wow, what a performance from MbL. This is shaking some things up, man. This is really shaking things up. Let's go. MbL live standings now. Up to 5 wins. ACCM live standings at 6. And, I mean, the next map is MbL's map as well. It's his home map. What a fun strat here. And see, like, I said before that when we saw the Khmer play out in the boom scenario, I was like, people are going to figure it out. Like, there's no way that playing into, like, 3 TCs immediately is not going to be punished in some capacity. And man, did MbL punish it. And I think this is probably better than some of the other options you might have. Like Turks, for example, you would think would do that with Janissaries. I think the hand cannons and the Castle Age chemistry and the mangonels was just sick. Also, let tower check for MbL. He built 17 towers in that game. Crazy. What a push. What a hold from ACCM. Maybe if he had a little bit more time, maybe had he raided the sides earlier, distracted MbL, it could have worked out for him. But it felt like that was desperation at that stage. And there's the difference in the res collected. What a series. So, regardless of what happens, both players are pretty fine here. But I should remind everybody of how just stacked this group is, right? Dogao and Capoch are at the bottom of the group. But, like, they're going to be playing each other in the 3rd round. Then they've only been getting better. Dogao's going to be back home. He'll no longer be playing on a kitchen sink in a foreign country. So, like, I expect pretty big sets, especially like MbL versus Capoch always delivers. MbL versus Dogao always delivers. Those sets will come. So, every win matters is my point. So, I think ACCM would feel much better about this series and how things have gone if he can get a win here. And he is from Vietnam, and he's gone for the Vietnamese. So a little bit of a home field advantage here for him. And MbL's over here has gone for the Bengalis. Bengalis is a crazy choice when you have Tatars. Because Tatars have a hill bonus. They do more damage when fighting on top of hills. Kilimanjaro is a large freaking hill in the middle of the map. So if MbL loses this, I might look back and be like, why didn't you just pick Tatars, bro? But there's some funky things you could do with the Bengalis. You can go to stone, get the Ratha out. That could be really painful to deal with for the enemy. Their eco's insane. So if he wishes to play more defensively, getting the extra vills is not something other civs could really do. So we have seen a lot of walling on these maps. And so if that's the case, you're just keeping your vills protected. And MbL likes spears and skirms and monks. And Bengalis have solid enough spears and skirms, and they have great monks. So yeah, my guess right now is MbL is just gonna make a bunch of trash units and boom and adapt. And then I think ACCM is gonna have the more typical play where he's gonna aim to kill. But map is super exposed, super open. It's how Kilimanjaro is designed. But again, when you're close to the edge of the map, you do tend to see a lot of walling. Ishta says, remember MbL versus Viper in Wandering Warriors Cup 2? I don't remember that. I don't think they played each other in Wandering Warriors Cup 2, Gishta. Am I crazy? Did they play each other? Am I missing a Viper MbL series? I think they did, actually. I don't remember the game. I'm ashamed. The fact that I don't immediately remember this game bothers me so much. Game 5, he threw picking Khmer. Oh, God, that game. Oh, the no Spanish game. Oh, my God. That was so painful. But, like, I don't remember MbL playing Bengalis, if that's what you were referencing, so. But, yeah, I remember getting really upset that he didn't go Spanish, and I'm still upset about it, and I regret bringing it up, because it actually brings me pain. Salatnor, thank you very much. I think Salatnor is a big MbL fan. I think the Nor in the name is for Norway. So Salatnor here, rooting on MbL, I'm sure. Thank you, Nanohertz, for the 32 months. Orange Day 93, thank you for the 10 months. Plunks, And Draconus, thank you for the Prime and 2-month resub. Thank you, chat. Man, I've been having fun today. Definitely not the second cup of coffee that I've had. It's definitely all the games. Just, whew, so fun. So, MbL's not really the type of player to go for fast castles and dropping a castle at home and doing all that crap here. So I think he's just going to go for a standard type of opening. And you don't usually think about the Bengalis as a scout civilization, but they can still do it, and they have good economy. ACCM knows exactly where MbL is because of his bonus. And he'll find MbL's base and just try and get a feel for what MbL is going for here. Yeah, lots of people here. And we have Doubt and Leary after this, guys. Doubt, Leary. Leary won 3-0 his first round. Doubt went 0-3 his first round. And Doubt was sick, so we delayed the set a little bit to make sure he was healthy. Is MbL making a preemptive trap here? No way. No. Dude, that was... Okay, that's not something that I was expecting from MbL. He was hoping the scout would run in there and he could trap it. Wrong Norwegian, though. You know, like, if that's Viper, you probably expect it. I appreciate the fact that MbL had to pre-place the house, because that's what I would have to do. Like, I'm not fast enough to be able to go, like, house gate. Oh, round 2? Nah, I think ACCM realized something was going on there. Oh, ACCM saw 2 lumber camps. This should tell him it's a feudal build. He'll now see the stable. And MbL saw the barracks. He'll probably double check to see if it's stable. And ACCM, cheaper eco upgrades, also faster researching, so he snags those. And the scouts are going to be out. But if MbL doesn't take damage, advantage to him. Because of the additional 2 vills. That takes time to pay off, obviously. Efficiency is always important, too. So it'll need to be there, but I think that's why he picked Bengalis. I mean, it is just such an odd choice to me, though. Tatars just feel so much better. I feel like every time I cast an MbL series, he always has that one pick where I'm like, huh? Without fail, dude. I can go back. I can tell you from 2015. Going back then, like, Goths on Arabia was unheard of. And he was like, well, if I make it to post-imp against the Mayans, I will destroy. He picked Goths, and then he died in feudal age. But, you know, he either gets in his own mind, or maybe no one understands his mind. It's kind of a mix. That's what makes it fun. That's what makes him fun to watch. You never really know what you're going to be up against. And it's not fun to play against MbL, because you just don't know what to game plan for. But I will say this. So, like, against other players, if ACCM doesn't take early damage, he feels super comfortable because he plays really safe and he can't be killed. But MbL is maybe a bad matchup for him because MbL's the same. The weakest points of MbL's game is the early game. But if he's not killed off, he's very dangerous late. And so far, that has kind of been a little bit of the theme. I mean, obviously, the second game was very different than the first, but you see, like, ACCM wasn't immediately like, let's go kill. And that's good for the Bengalis. That's good for MbL's eco. MbL's added a couple spears. This isn't actually fully walled yet. He could actually run through there. But he's going to shift back home. It looks like he's already making some archers. It is crazy just how many spearmen MbL will make. But I actually think that for all of you watching, as players, you really need to get out of the habit that, like, making 1 or 2 extra spears is a bad thing. Certain pros will do that, right? Like, top 5 guys. One of my favorite things is when I spoke to Daniel. Now, he's, like, more top 20. But Daniel was just like, yeah, if he overmakes 2 spears in feudal, he's dead, right? Like, that's not actually how AoE 2 works. That's just how certain people see the game. MbL's not like that. MbL's like, you know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to risk trying to get the walls down in time and lose the Vil. Instead, I'm just going to play with smooth eco and make a couple extra military units. And a lot of people do associate MbL with early walling, but he will early wall if he doesn't make the lots of military. So he's going for the military here for the numbers. And here he comes. And I just, he looks confident. He looks smooth. He looks comfortable right now, doesn't he? Every time ACCM moves out to go find something, there's always going to be another spear around. And MbL's eco has not been walling. MbL's eco has been working smoothly. So MbL has collected 500 more resources because of the additional vills and the lack of wall time. Doesn't factor into the, doesn't factor into the equation the resources invested into the walls. But eventually you need to get walls down. I'm not saying play fully open. But you've got to get some walls down eventually here for MbL. So MbL can't see this gold. I was thinking he really wanted to pressure the gold. Like, you're right above the hill in front of the opponent's stable, so you can see if they're adding more army. But it seems like he's willing to break in right now. And ACCM adding some skirms behind, snagging fletching. MbL might be thinking he's got the edge with the fletching timing. He did make a lot of spears. Like, I'm complimenting MbL for how smooth his eco is. But he does have 7 spearmen when his opponent produced 2 additional scouts. Again, kind of my point, though, is like, some people undermake army and they get punished for it. And then MbL, he just wants to be comfortable. I think it's somewhat underrated. Maybe not 7 spears. Maybe going up to 4 or 5. But now would be the point of the game where your opponent could counterattack you. Now is the point of the game where you probably want to get some walls down. ACCM doesn't lose too much. ACCM going to click up here in a moment. And MbL getting town watch in case there's sneak armies. And he'll click up soon as well. So better economy, but the army is now the question. Because Vietnamese have more HP on their skirms and archers, and this has become a skirms and archers game. And MbL is on the way to Castle Age around the same time. So we'll get the additional 2 vills. You can see that all the army for ACCM is behind the walls. So ACCM can't sneak. And is adding skirms. So yeah, like, I think he played... Skirms feels very natural here. And I think the plan is just to hope that Skirm Monk can deal with everything that your opponent would bring out. And look at this hill. Like, this is so valuable. That stone and gold. And the 2 areas are actually really close together, too. So, oh, wow, there's vills already. Ah, you know what's coming back to me? That game against Winchester where MbL went forward siege is coming back to me. And Siege Monk then makes a lot of sense with the Bengalis. Man, MbL came to freaking play today. And ACCM can't justify a sneak right now. Because he needs the army. He can't just leave and, like, loop around. Because MbL could spot him. But also, he needs defense here. And the second that MbL doesn't see archers here is where he'll start to get paranoid and look around, I think. But he sees them there. ACCM is just stuck behind his walls. Hoping he's faster to Castle Age. He will be faster to Castle Age, but MbL will be right behind him. Does he show him the workshop? Is it an in-your-face workshop? No, he hides it. But he'll see it, and I don't think there's enough here from ACCM to deny this. That workshop's going to go up. Elite Skirm is on the way for both. Crossbow's coming in for ACCM as well, though. So ACCM's actually got a nice little window here. If he could actually get this army over to MbL's base, things get interesting. But if you do that, then you need defense for everything at home. Your gold is still exposed. So eventually that mango will pop out here. MbL's bringing 2 more vills forward? Okay. It's a party. Skirms are out. Knight is out. Oh, God, there's just so much going on right now. There's so much to look at. But what I'm seeing is the skirms from MbL are mopping up most of the army, and then the siege is protected for now because the knight goes down. That was sick for MbL. Just had so much army. It's still awkward. He still might lose his mangonel. He still doesn't have monks. Well, hold on. I mean, they both are not going to be super pleased with how that went, actually. This could be okay for ACCM after killing the siege. It's now very difficult for MbL to pop out with monks if there's units that can surround the monastery. And his eco, very exposed. A couple knights in his base would be awful, actually. That was... Look how many vills MbL brought forward! He brought forward the whole family! What the... He went from 2 to 4 to 5 to 6. I think his rally point from his TC was set forward, maybe. And he didn't realize. And now ACCM goes TC2, TC3. And should camp this monastery, in my opinion. Sit units next to that at all times. Especially a couple scouts there. He doesn't really have the food. But you don't want MbL to be able to hop out. I think that's why that scout is there right now. So kind of an interesting one because it's still only a knight and a couple skirms and crossbows. So MbL should be able to use skirms to defend from this. But it won't be easy. And the knight forces the units away. ACCM now forcing MbL off the golds. And man, yeah, MbL, things have just gotten very messy here. This forward is such a liability now, too. All that gold's kind of wasted. I do like this TC, though. But I'm loving the upgrades from ACCM. And I'm loving the fact he's on 3 town centers. Also, the light cav upgrade's great. I wouldn't mind a ram here. Just to ram that monastery down and get rid of it. And this is wild. MbL is actually just going to let this army here. And he's going to go to the middle so he can still use these monks. I think if MbL wins the game, it will actually be because he saved this situation here. This is super risky, right? But if you lose the hill here, if you lose access to your monks, what are you doing? It's not going to be a good situation. So he has his own light cav. The light cav will be in. The skirms are going to be in. ACCM will have to run away. Now ACCM has this to worry about. But MbL's TC can garrison to kill some of that. The ram is now a waste. The monks now hop out. That's crazy. Oh, wait, but the crossbows were in the ram. Dude, did MbL realize that? I didn't even realize that. Save them. Run. Run faster. That's so funny, dude. Okay, now what are they doing? Oh, Scorpion? Oh, okay, well, there they are. Surprise. That was creative. That was really creative from ACCM. It didn't work out, but that was a nice little getaway. And MbL's now reclaimed the hill. Guys, so many people would have just chased this army with the skirms, and then they would have lost their monks, and they wouldn't have anything to work with here. And now MbL's right back into it. MbL's has a similar eco count. And ACCM's long-term plan has to be to somehow get control of this hill again. MbL 2 TCs, could be 3. I wouldn't mind seeing him come this direction to build the TC up here right now, but there is a siege workshop there. And MbL is going to be through with some light cav. Wow. ACCM doesn't seem to know what to make. And what do you suggest? You can't make knights because there's monks out there. You can't make cav archers because your opponent has skirms and scorpions. MbL seems to be in a pretty decent spot as far as the military is concerned. This clump of military is just... I guess you would need siege. And then when your siege workshop's here, it's kind of complicated. You've got to be kidding me, dude. I mean, the timing on this could be really good for ACCM. Light cav are on the way. Siege is on the way. MbL clearly expects something. Like, he saw that. That castle, yeah, that's going to go up. But that's some pretty crazy timing from MbL. ACCM at least notices, though, so he doesn't lose the units. And MbL still has this control. I think this is where siege to push the TC would make sense. And ACCM really heavy on stone. He's going to need to be sneaky, though. To get a castle up in the middle, you have to run around MbL's army. And the Ratha switches to melee mode and gets the kill. Well played, MbL. Light cav are going to dive. They have armor and forging now. The monks are going to be taken out. Full light cav seems like a pretty good play. ACCM. It's unfortunate his other units just couldn't get through there. And MbL lands some really nice shots as well. Wow. That was actually fine for MbL. 3 more light cav and maybe bloodlines, and MbL might lose everything there, but he still maintained some control. Lots of light cav died. And even trickling in the remaining light cav, that won't be enough. That monk will not die. It's Bengalis. Oh, man, and now he's got siege here. MbL's has melee Ratha around the siege workshop. MbL's coming to the middle for a TC. Again, ACCM wants a castle in the middle. How's he supposed to do that? I think he wanted to sneak it up over here. He's kind of forced to place this castle so he can defend himself. But this just feels over. MbL's got so much control. He's got the siege. He's got the scurbs. He's got the Ratha now. Light cav. And he does see the castle. But if you see that castle, you're happy. You're like, go ahead, keep your corner. I have to focus on the rest of the map. I think the only thing that MbL is missing right now is some outposts to get vision. Because you've got to know that ACCM is going to have to sneak. He did scout the map pretty significantly with auto scout. ACCM's way back into the game is these vills dropping a castle right here. And MbL not being able to stop it. That's his way back. Also, cav archer raids could be good. This is actually great because MbL doesn't have any defensive army. You can tell he's thinking about raiding the south as well with those light cav. I think he just has to ignore this for now. He may feel like he needs another defensive castle, though, because he could lose his TC. Maybe he does have to build a castle here. It would be very good for MbL. Stables down. Barracks is going down. Cav archers aren't raiding yet. Light cav haven't found an engagement yet. 650 stone for ACCM. He will drop the outpost. He might not see everything there. MbL's going to see it, though. Like, MbL has Town Watch. If a castle is placed there, MbL could notice that, but that's kind of hard to spot. He's pushing here. He's getting raided here by light cav. There's a lot to react to right now if you're MbL. Does he notice that castle? ACCM is probably going to complete this castle. I think maybe he just noticed. I don't know. He's placing his own castle here, which is obviously fine. Don't know if MbL knows about that. Light cav are still here. Push is still happening, though. I mean, what is ACCM supposed to do to stop this push now? It's such a problem. Castle on the hill felt necessary, but now you're just going to lose your whole base. They're running out of jobs over here in ACCM's economy. They've got people willing to work, but they just don't have the jobs. It's just not good. The TC is probably going to crumble down. The light cav aren't doing much. The cav archers have been forgotten about. Yeah, ACCM, that's his imp TC. Okay, well, he switches that. He'll be in the other TC, but even that TC could go down. MbL playing like an absolute maniac right now. Eats the TC, eating the skirms, and should win this game. As long as ACCM's trebuchets don't change something here. ACCM has 2 castles. 2 castles to make trebs out of. Not really a whole lot to protect the trebs, but still. Light cav still hoping to roam around. There's some rats and archers too. Now that's a good unit here. But man, are they missing upgrades. So funny how this castle's just here, you know? I think maybe ACCM needed to be riskier with that. But then if it gets denied, it's probably game over. So I get why he placed the safe one. MbL's kind of backing up. He's got 18 Ratha. What in the world? He's got them everywhere. And he hasn't clicked up to Imp yet. So, I mean, if he's not an Imp, the Vil count's kind of even. ACCM is going to get slaughtered here. Maybe there's a chance, but MbL's economy is so much stronger right now. So much more efficient. MbL will need to add farms. But this is the time where you would expect that to happen. MbL adding more armored elephants at the moment. So I think he wants to push the castle down. He definitely knows ACCM is imping with how low that score is and how little ACCM is shown. So yeah, I think the play is he's going to stay in Castle Age, go Ratha Armored Elephants, and hope to just kill ACCM with that. Don't ask me how ACCM has more resources collected when he's lost his TC and had so much idle time. Props to him for that, but he just doesn't have the army. And so this is your advantage with Imp. You have the Trebs from this castle, and then you have Bracer for the Rats and Archers. ACCM is running out of wood. He's building a tower to protect wood, but here come the elephants from MbL. And the Treb can't come out. You have nothing here to stop those elephants from taking down your castle. Nothing. And the Ratans, they're not strong enough to deal with the Rathas. So they just melt. MbL's got, oh my god, he's got elephants and Ratha and skirms underneath the castle here. Just going for this castle as well. MbL is about to sweep ACCM. MbL 3-0 victory, and what a great series it was, guys. This was so well-rounded. What a great fight. And MbL, he's kind of had a topsy-turvy Titans League career. He's had a great season. Then one season he was relegated back down to gold. Then in season 3, he just stomped his group in gold. Immediately got promoted back up to platinum for this season. And, you know, after the first 2 rounds, I thought MbL was playing really good. He won one series 2-1. He lost a series 1-2. He was up against Tato and Vinch. Great players. But ACCM was 6-0 coming into this. And ACCM, it just kind of looked like you couldn't kill the guy if you watched the earlier sets. And MbL found the answers today. Lots of military, lots of map control seems to be the theme in every single game, right? And ACCM will have to go back to the drawing board. What a performance from MbL. Bengalis on Kilimanjaro. Crazy. That's the first time. Bengalis have never been picked on Kilimanjaro before in like the history of Age of Empires 2. There's maybe someone could find a game. Maybe MbL did it before. I don't know. But it certainly made it look good. Now, I want to go back to that moment because like he kind of lost this game here. His opponent's 3 town center eco. He is only adding the second. This counterattack is brutal. So many people just die here. And then the casters are questioning Bengalis. And why would you do that? Is he unprepared? You know. But what MbL does in this situation is crazy to me. He leaves the army in his base because he knows if he chases that ACCM gets full control over the game. So he accepts that this army can stay in his base to chase his vills so he can reclaim this area. This is where he came back to the game. This is what actually kept him in it. And then, of course, the follow-up behind that was all good. But that's a crazy thing to do right there. The siege workshop in the monastery was critical. And you gotta hand it to him. So, let's pull up the standings now. Let's see what that says. This should mean some pretty big things, obviously, for MbL. ACCM, no longer runaway in the group. Everything's super close in this group now. This group is epic. So, put the live standings in. And this should update for us. Chat, please don't go to the site. Please stop going to the site. I'm going to show you on stream. Stop going to the site. 1 sec. Here we go. So, MbL, ACCM are tied. Vinchester and Tato are tied. And then Dogao and Kapoch have yet to play. So, Dogao, Kapoch, their results are there only after 2 rounds. Really close group. I mean, the chances are incredibly high for 4 of those players to potentially get first. And with all those top 4, you're definitely thinking they want top 3 for playoffs too. So I'm really happy with the performance we've seen from all the top 4. I'm also expecting Dogao and Kapoch to only get better. And whoever loses Dogao Kapoch is in a really bad spot. Whoever wins there, especially if they win 3-0, could be really competitive. And then it'll be ACCM's next opponents are Vinchester and Tato. And then MbL's next opponents are Dogao and Kapoch. So MbL should maybe be seen as the favorite to win the group right now, considering the upcoming opponents and considering the amount of wins he has.